Well, if you watch the entire video, you already know one of the things I found. But with that being stated, the way I did it this time, I walked in and I seen all those fresh Hot Wheels and I was like, what in the world? So I immediately took this picture and sent it to the wife because she was in the grocery store. I told her I'd just run in here, look through the few cars they had, and then I'd meet her at the grocery store. So I sent her the picture and I told her I was going to be a minute. And as you saw in the video, you know, I went through some of the pegs and everything, and it's like, once the cars started readily repeating themselves, I knew the rest of the pegs was going to be that way for the most part. In other words, the Lamborghini would be there, the Jaguar would be there, you know, the Batmobiles would be there, so on and so forth. So I was like, well, there's no need in me recording the whole thing like I normally do because it's just being repetitive. And I knew some stuff would start falling off the pegs eventually, and the pegs looked like they were pretty fresh because they didn't have, I stopped in there one day last week and they didn't have that end cap. So when I came up and I saw that end cap, I'm like, oh my God, there might be a chance of finding something. Now, what do I mean by something? Well, it could be anything from the Moon Eyes Cool Combi to more of the Chargers to cars for customs, whatever I'm looking for, you know. Because typically the way it's been in my area, if you get anything, there's one or two cool cars in it and the rest of it are fantasy castings. So with that being stated, I'm going through the cars and the lady that works there that stocks those, she said, I just stocked those a little while ago. Don't you make a mess. I'm like, no ma'am. I said, typically I actually straighten up while I'm here. So she didn't say anything. So I kept looking through and everything. And by the time I got halfway through the front peg, she said, you're doing a good job. Thank you. I appreciate that. And, you know, we started talking and everything. By the time I got done, she went back to work and I went around to the side and got the regular display. So then I came back around, going around in circles, literally. I came back and went through again. Just, you know, you make your precursor scan and then you go back. Make sure you didn't pass anything up you really wanted. So when I'm going through it, she said, you back over here again? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, I'm just going back through. And by that time, I found one of the Cool Combi. So I reached and grabbed it. So I see, I missed that the first time through. So she's like, well, since you're doing such a great job, and you've got a few over there, you're making room. I've got one more case in the back that hasn't been opened. Make a deal with you. If you put them up, I'll bring them out for you. I'm like, yes, ma'am. I said, as a matter of fact, I'll leave you my number and you can call me anytime you have any that you need put out. I'll stop what I'm doing instantly and come right over here. So I put them out and then basically it was a dud. I mean, I had a few more cars in it that I wanted and everything, but it was basically a dud. But yeah, let me show you what I picked up. I ended up picking up 13 cars. I couldn't believe it. Some of them are duplicates. So I'll show you what I got. Let's see, I'll take them out where you can see. I got one more of those. Might be two, but yeah, when I see these, I'm going to get them. I've already got one that I took the base off of, and I have over there. I'm mocking up a trailer for it now because I want to make a haul behind boat and trailer for a custom. But I'm going to get more of these because I really want that engine, because that engine's different from the ones that you find nowadays. So I got that. I got another one of these. I've got two of these already because I want to cut the back half off of it and put on other customs and stuff. But I'm actually going to make a custom out of this, and it'll be coming very soon. So you have to keep your eyes open for that because I don't want to burn you out with just regular customs like I'm going to do. I'm going to find all of these. And some of you get upset when you see this, and that's okay. And I was sitting there in bed last night thinking about customs that I want to do and everything. I just want to do a wheel swap on this. So I got one. So great channel supporters sent me one, but now I have one that I can open, and I want to do a wheel swap on it. Save that for a little bit, save that for a little bit. Yeah, that's all of it. So she said she put out 6 cases. And I have the empty cases to prove it, because I told her, as I was going through it, I was getting cars, I'm like, do you have any of the empty cases? Because I remember she said she did 6. So there was one laying right there. She handed it to me. She said, you want some more? I got some more in the back. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, well, how many do you want? I said, I'll take all of them. Because let's face it, you can put 72 cars in one of these boxes, and they're not that big, and it doesn't take up that much room. Very, very handy for storing or selling, or like the Diecast Day of Giving is coming up in October. So these make perfect for shipping cars off the end, or anything, any number of reasons. But anyhow, these are very limited, and they're not in every case. But I got the ones that they had because I want to do some customs with them. I've got me one. I said if I found another one, I was going to get it. So I could open it and put on my moon eyes back there. I think it's right there. My moon eye. Come on in, Coop. I hear him talking. But anyhow, got what, 2, 4 more? So I can use those for trades or for customs or whatever I want to do with them. Because I was going through the website of the person that I buy a lot of my decals from, and they got, I kept adding the ones that I really wanted just for customs for me. Kept adding them to the cart and everything. When I got done, it was almost $100 of it. At $5 and $6 a piece, $100 worth of decals. So I was like, But this is one of my favorite treasure hunts from the year, and they had 2 of them, so I got both of them. And yes, you could say that's an error. It's upside down. I understand. Or that's an error because it's right side up. And people were really after this casting this year, and I don't understand why. I never found a single one. I was lucky enough to get one that one of my great channel supporters sent me, but I found 2. Because I actually do want to do a couple customs with these. The only 2 they had. Out of 7 cases, 2. That is ridiculous. I was lucky enough to find them, so now I have some that I can do customs with. Because I got a couple ideas of what I want to do. And then I seen this. Got 2 more cards to show you. I seen this and I was like, I have the tuned Chargers, and I know that there's a tuned Supra coming out, and I need to get all of those I can. I got to have one for my collection, got to have one for me to open, and I got to have some for custom, so I got to find every one of those I can. But I seen this and I was like, I actually halfway like that car. Actually halfway like it. So I couldn't pass it up. Right? Very cool. 82 Skyline, 82 Toyota Supra. Still got that Godzilla on mine. Very cool casting. I actually like this one here. This needs a wheel swap, right? Very, very cool. But let me show you the last card that I got. Whoa! That's right. I couldn't believe it. It was hid back toward the back of the peg. I was like, oh no, you're coming home with me. I seen the color and I'm like, yeah, I know exactly where you're going. It is the Supra Treasure Hunt. The Super Treasure Hunt. Did you notice how I said it? Supra Treasure Hunt instead of Super. I got the regular and I got the Super. I couldn't believe it. It has been so long since I scored oh, look at something. A Super Treasure Hunt. I just noticed it. If you look on the card art, one of the headlights is up halfway. And I just glanced at the main line. I didn't see it, but if you got to turn it just so, and the headlight is up halfway. And what made me notice it was on the Super, it just looked like it was shining, so the headlight is up on it too. Very cool. But it's been so long since I found anything, and it's not my cup of tea, but whenever you find something like this out in the wild, I know there's 10,000 of them out there. I understand that. I understand it. But Even the card art is different. You know, most of the time the card art would be representative of the main line. In other words, that would be on the Super also. Well, the card art's even a little different. As soon as I seen it, I was like, oh wow. And it's got my favorite Hot Wheels wheels on it. I love those wheels. They look good on any casting. But yeah, that's all I got. All I got, 13 cars worth. But it's been so long, it's been so dry. Like I always say, you gotta hunt. If you don't hunt, you can't find. And I keep going, And it's gotten so bad to where I told the wife, I'm just not going to look anymore unless we're already there. And we went to the grocery store, so it put me there. Oh, voila. So persistence paid off. I know a lot of you guys don't believe it, and you just want to give up, but don't give up. It will come around. It will come around. So with that being stated, get out there and hunt, because you don't hunt, you can't find. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you all so very much for watching.